Hi, I'm Mike Brown, and with us today is Leigh, Ances, and Bonnie Maur. They are two STEM committee representatives planning for the STEM Academy from the Monroe Public School District. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Thanks.
It's a pleasure.
We're happy to be here.
Now, the STEM Academy seems to be the buzz around Monroe today. Can you tell our viewers what the STEM acronym stands for and the basic facts about the program?
Sure. STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And it's an academy that's being planned and developed for 6th, 7th, and 8th graders, and it'll be housed here in Masuk High School.
And we'll be beginning for the next school year, the 2011-2012 school year.
Now, as I understand, there seems to be a cap on the amount of students that can actually apply and get into the STEM Academy. How will you determine which students will be able to enroll in the STEM Academy?
A lottery process will be held. We're hoping for at least 150 students to attend the STEM Academy. We're looking for an enrollment of 200 students. If we should have more than 200, we will plan on a lottery process, which will be held on December 3rd at the Board of Ed offices. And at that point, we will have hopefully 72 students per grade level to attend the STEM Academy.
The STEM Academy, no doubt, will have strong foundations in the math and science field. Will this program also develop the prospective students' language arts and social studies skills?
Absolutely, and I'm glad you asked that. Even though STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, and math, we will be teaching language arts and humanities as well, and students will certainly be prepared to go on to high school and take AP English classes, honors English classes, or whatever suits their needs. But yes, it is a big part of the STEM Academy. Students will still have a dedicated time where they will be learning how to read and how to write, and they will be learning about history.
Because all of the curriculum for STEM, just as it is in all Monroe schools, will be accountable to the state of Connecticut standards. So all curriculum will be based upon those standards, and we will cover every discipline at the STEM Academy.
In these days, colleges want to see kids that are very diverse, and very well-rounded. Does the STEM Academy allow students to take courses such as foreign language, band, and or orchestra to allow them to diversify their studies?
There is a unified arts component to the curriculum, and students will certainly have those opportunities to explore music and art. Technology is a big part of STEM, so yes, there are other offerings in addition to math and language arts and humanities and science.
Can you describe where these students would take these extracurricular activities, such as the foreign language and the, band, orchestra? Would they be involved in the Masuk orchestra, or would they have to go to their own separate place within the STEM Academy at Masuk?
That's a great question. Currently, the STEM Academy is housed within a certain area in Masuk, and students will be using that area, but as appropriate, they may need to traverse the hallways to take other courses. But a lot of that is currently being worked out. But we do expect that they may be leaving that wing or that corridor for a certain part of the day, as necessary and as appropriate.
However, we don't foresee them participating as a part of the Masuk band or orchestra. They will have their own times to study those particular unified arts classes.
So from that answer, I gather that there will be some degree of interaction between the Masuk students and the STEM Academy students?
Yes.
Yes. If a student were to withdraw, per se, from the program, the STEM Academy, would it be easy for them to assimilate back into Jockey Hollow's pre-existing curriculum?
Because all curriculum is based on state standards, we foresee no problem for any student who chooses to leave STEM after a year and return to Jockey Hollow.
Correct.
Now, parents are wanting answers to all these questions. Should my child go into the STEM Academy? Should they apply? Who do you suggest that these parents contact for more information?
Certainly Bonnie or myself, anytime. They should also look at the Monroe Public Schools main website, and in the scrolling news section of the main website, some frequently asked questions and answers are posted, so that's a good source of information. And there are other committee members as well, but certainly we are a good starting point. Excuse me.
Okay, I thank you two for joining us today and answering all my questions, and we will be right back to the main program.
Hello, and welcome to another edition of the Masuk Report. Today's roundtable discussion will address the idea of instituting a STEM Academy in the Monroe School District. We have three distinguished panelists to share their thoughts about instituting a STEM Academy and its importance and impact on our town. Our panelists are Mr. Peter Schmidt, who is chairperson of Masuk Science Department, and seniors Natalie Kokab and Michael Brown. Our panelists have agreed upon several questions around which they shall base their discussion. From where does the idea for a STEM Academy originate? Let's go to our panelists and ask Mike Brown to share his perception of that and have him be followed by Mr. Schmidt.
Well, the idea of a STEM Academy really originates from the National Defense Education Program, which was instituted recently, and it's really a pre-college program for getting ready for kids to go into college, into math and engineering. That has origins from the NDEA back in the 1950s, when the Cold War was still present and there was lots of fear with Sputnik being launched from the Russians. So 1958, the National Defense Education Act granted more money, government money, to the math and science departments in the public schools. So now, again, we had September 11th back in 2001, and there's more of a fear, I guess, in terms of wanting more technology to combat these forces of terrorism. Also, because the technology is climbing at such a high rate, there's been more of a push to get more education in the math and science departments.
Mr. Schmidt, could you share what you know to have been some of the background to originating this idea for a STEM Academy?
Sure. I think a major initiative was put forth by President Obama in the last couple of years, recognizing that we are not graduating enough math and science students out of United States institutions. Most of our engineers are coming from abroad, and we're trying to get some homegrown engineers, people coming from U.S. schools. We're also finding that, unfortunately, there's a disproportionate number of females entering these science and technology careers. So STEM was really a recent initiative of President Obama to try to get more kids interested in STEM careers, and also try to get more college graduates in those areas.
I can add a little point of reference here, being the oldest person, and the background that Mike referred to is something I lived through. By the time I started in high school in 1960, if you were designated as a college preparatory student, it was required you would take 4 years of math and 4 years of science to graduate. There were no other choices. And we were impelled to make sure we always entered in the school-wide, county-wide, and statewide science fairs. Many of our teachers were actually paid to attend school in the summer to upgrade their knowledge of math and science and try to bring more of that into the classroom. So it's ironic, even though for many, because of the acronym, it may sound like a brand new thing, it's really, I think, the readaptation of something that was to a newer time, if that makes sense. Our second question is an obvious one. What exactly is a STEM Academy? So Mr. Schmidt, would you open up?
The way we envision STEM, and that's really important, is that every district kind of does STEM a little bit differently. STEM is, of course, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So those are the core areas, the key components of STEM.